Today, let's talk about it. I owe well, my subscribers anyway. Shit, you take the time to subscribe and listen to me. I should have given you what I received this weekend when I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So I owe you an apology. It's not really that serious, and then I'm gonna explain why. Okay, so I shot the video driving through the mountains. Amazing. It's some of those mountains I wish I would have stopped and looked at in more depth. There was just so many of them. Some of them felt and looked like pyramids, but that's another video. Why I got this vest on and stuff. I'm getting ready to go outside and look up in the sky and check out some stars and stuff. So get ready to get up. Driving through the mountains. Oh, you got to remember now, I'm from New York, so the only exposures to mountains I had growing up was the occasional trip to Bear Mountains, upstate Park. But the mountains of North Carolina going to Tennessee, majestic. I actually crossed the state line from North Carolina on 441 into Tennessee on a freaking mountain. That was cool. You had to be very careful, windy, very windy. I didn't know if the car was going to get up the daggone mountain. It's steep. They did their best to do the gradual incline when they made these roads, all this, and then going downhill into Tennessee, coming down the other side of the mountain. Awesome experience. Next time, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Next time, I will record it. But that's not the point of this video. Now, so I said, okay, so I'm out here, I'm looking around and stuff like that. And then coming on down the other side of the traffic, I run into this massive traffic. I thought, what are all these people doing in Tennessee? Coming through slowly, trying to find a place to park. I wound up parking at this pizza joint, CC's, and I hope I have that name right because the managers there were freaking awesome. I see pizza. Okay, now listen, I eat healthier now than I've done at any point in my life. But again, it's the weekend, and I'm taking in the environment, and so I'm eating pizza. Pizzas with toppings on it, I didn't know they were doing. you know, it's, I had some what I call, and I said it to the manager, stereotypical pizza. I mean, okay, who put macaroni and cheese on a pizza? Okay, now I know it's not healthy. I got it. I got Farrell from Chicago. Listen, man, don't roast me. Um, Macaroni and cheese on a pizza, and a couple of other things. I'm just too embarrassed to tell you what the top is on this pizza that I enjoyed that day. After that experience, I talked to the manager. and said, "Listen, they're charging $10 and stuff like that to park to be around this area. What's going on up here?" I said, "You mind if I keep my car in the parking lot? I'm only gonna be here a couple hours." Nah, you're safe, man. Anybody messing with your car, it's right on your car's parked right under the camera. You're good. Go have a good time. Awesome. I start walking around, right? And I'm noticing that there are okay. I get to the sidewalk. The streets are flooded with people. Now, in my youth, I used to go to places like I used to go to Daytona, Miami, Myrtle Beach, Bike Week. I've done all of that stuff, so I'm used to seeing large crowds of people on the street. No big deal, and it felt like that vibe with large crowds of people going up and down these streets, walking up like it was full blown tourism. And I should have recorded it. That's what I'm apologizing for. I should have pulled out the camera and let you all see that, many Americans have gone on with their freaking lives while many of you are hiding in your house 24 hours, ordering your groceries in the house, being baked by your own Wi-Fi. I should have pulled out the camera and started recording and letting you see what the. I was just overwhelmed by the energy, all of the don't go too high. Auric fields that I was surrounded by, all communicating as we're walking and passing each other. Ripley's Believe It or Not, museums, um, aquariums, all of these Indian shops, just people up and down the streets. I was overwhelmed. My senses were overwhelmed. It's the first time in 2020 that I've been around that many people outdoors since this thing hit, and it was very refreshing. How refreshing was it? I didn't touch my cell phone the whole time I was there. Coming up, except utilizing GPS. So, God, where I was going in park, I didn't pull my cell phone out again until it was time to leave. Even when it went off, even when I got a text, even when I got an email alert or a social media alert, my senses were constant. I saw a bear. Are you kidding me? A bear. So I'm talking to another guy at another pizza shop, which I sort of wish I would have checked out first. Um, I would have checked out first if I'd have ran into him first. Saw a bear. People are not freaked out. People didn't freak out, and the bear is looking for people and then going about his business. He's trying to get in the dumpster to get pizza. People are outside. The guy at the second pizza shop that I went to, and I wish I remembered his name and the name of the shop. But next time I go, I will end up shooting from his shop. Some people do a good job of filling other people's buckets. You can either take from somebody's bucket or you can fill them up. You know what I mean? You can either give good energy to people or you can leech onto them and be a source of an energy drain. And for some reason, this guy was so passionate about pizza. He was telling me why his pizza is the best pizza in town. And he was so descriptive about why his pizza was the best pizza in town. And part of me wish, and I thought about it, but if I would have known he was going to go into that detail of what he does with pizza, not that I give a shit about making pizza, but he was so excited about it that I got excited about it. I'd have pulled out my phone and recorded him talking about how much research he does into going and making sure that his pizza is the best. What ingredients he uses, who his pizza guy is, who does all the cooking. So many pizzas in a day. The number he gave me was insane. I said, "How do you have time to make all those pizzas in a day?" He listed all of the cheeses, talked about the cheeses that he scratched off the list over time, and oven settings, and the dimensions of the oven, and toppings, and I mean, he was, and then going to other pizza shops to see what they're doing and taste what they're doing. I mean, he's like really into pizza. Okay, um, and I would have recorded it just to put it up. I should have went in and tasted one of his pieces, but I was full of it. I just left a pizza shop. Anyway, saw a bear. Bear's looking around for humans. Come out of the mountains to a dumpster looking. Yelled at the bear, "Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!" I know that bear. We call that bear such and such, whatever the name was. The whole I could normal people. I guess I'm not normal. Would have pulled their cell phone out, started recording. I was so engrossed in just taking in all of the information, all of the things that my senses, the smells, the sounds, the visuals that my senses were taking, that I didn't think to pull my cell phone out. It's so busy on both sides of the street. Car traffic is moving to 1 mile an hour. People are playing music. I saw the coolest fucking thing. Because what I did was I walked some of the trails, you know what I mean, and then I walked the streets and then when I decided I'd been enough around all of that energy, different people's energy, because I'm real sensitive to energy these years. Um, I secluded to a spot that where there was less people, but I saw the coolest thing. It's motorcycles, and I'm familiar with motorcycles if you know me from that life. Uh, and these motorcycles, these guys are playing the music really, really loud on their motorcycles. Now, I don't know how they get. I'm not familiar with the speakers that they use to make their bike sound the music on their motorcycle sound that crisp, that clear, that loud. It's a couple black guys on a motorcycle, right? Um, they playing this song, okay, and it's loud, and it's a jam, and I see a group of white people who look like I mean, they were 50ish, between late 40s to mid 50s, walking, talking, look very conservative. They turn instinctually toward the motorcycles who are a little off in the distance and go out of their way to be seen, raise both hands in the air and start, what I mean, bouncing on some I'm at the concert shit. And that energy was really, really exciting. I'm observing this, social observer. I'm observing and I'm doing my best to stay neutral, but it was a nice atmosphere to be around. They jam it as the motorcycles go by, and they go out of their way to jam so that the motorcycles see that they recognize them and they're jamming. The motorcycles throw up the wave, they keep going, and then they go from jamming to back to the regular conservative people, talking about whatever the hell they were talking about. I said, we could let that go like that. As I walking past them, I gave them the fist bump. I was like, I see you. Proof that white people have soul. We laughed. It was a moment. Pass. Keep going. Didn't reach for my cell phone one time. Um, didn't reach for my cell phone one time. It was a really, really nice experience. And I end up asking, I said, okay, I get it. You got a lot of antique shops up and down here, you know. Um, I mean, the mountains look great. The parks, I get it. But how many people come through here? He's the manager from the second pizza shop, who I will give proper credit to the next time I end up going there. I'll shoot directly from the shop. He says 8 million people have been through here just this summer. 8 million people, and I don't know how many thousands of people were out there then. So when I look at the TV and I see empty, I see people saying, well, avoiding large crowds because of this, that, the third, and then go out there and see people in large crowds having a good time, shopping, speaking, all nationalities. It was very, very. I felt like I had walked into another dimension where COVID didn't exist until I passed by another restaurant that doesn't allow you to come in unless you're wearing a mask. And I spoke to them recently. Oh yeah, no, you got to wear a mask to come in. But then you walk by people, whatever. Then you sit at your table. We got the table 6 feet separated. Then you can take your mask off. Okay, I got to wear a mask. Walk in, sit down. Then I can take the mask off. So COVID apparently exists during the doorway. That's another video. I don't want to go low. We've talked about the Kobe cooties long enough. Um, I was so overwhelmed by the energy in that place, in those mountains, in nature, with all of those people, enjoying breathing that good ass prana, as Ralph would say, just happy to be out the house. It was very, very cool. And I apologize for not documenting it. But, I was just so caught up in enjoying it. Coming into Before getting to the mountains, I passed just shops and shops and shops and antiques and antiques and antiques and antiques. And then I passed by, a shop, and they had a Native American. Mike, do not go low. Okay, what you have been programmed to believe is a Native American in full native garb with the feathers going down his back, and he's out in front of the thing. Somebody's doing the drums, and he's dancing, doing a rain dance. And people are got their cell phones out and they're recording it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm driving, but it's just 1 mile an hour because of traffic, and I could have pulled over and got out and recorded it, but I just listen. I just want. Sometimes you have to leave your cell phones alone and just enjoy the experience. Okay, and so. I chose to be, I guess, selfish, subconsciously, wasn't thinking about it, and just enjoyed the experience. But I had a lot of people on my mind. I had a lot of things going through my mind as I was, taking all of this in. And I guess the major thing was, I need to get out more. I spend more time than I'm comfortable telling you studying what's being done to us, studying history, studying science, studying nutrition, um, and just physical fitness, and I just I devote so much of my solitude over the last 10 to 15 years, the last 4 years so hard. I really just put the sword down just for a minute and and took what I was seeing externally and allowed it to, repair what's going on internally. Because my heart hurts. It just, it does. And if you're familiar, you already know why. So I don't need to go into that. And so I guess I'm apologizing because when I get back, um, I saw tiny houses. People who had a tiny house business or whatever. No, I didn't stop for that. I just you. I found that if you want to get somewhere, sometimes there's some things you just have to pass. Sometimes to get where you're going. But I will stop next time because I like to see the inside of a tiny house, being that I'm 6'4". All right. I guess the icing on the cake was coming back. You know, driving through the mountains at night is an interesting experience. Okay. I don't know how these people drive those mountains when it's raining or when it snows. And, I'm not really looking forward to having that experience, but they're just driving at a safe speed at night. You talk about no lights, just the lights from the stars. Very, very different experience. Enjoyed it, but was very, very focused the whole time coming through on my surroundings. Um, when I got back, I'm thinking, I'm doing some thinking. I'm thinking about how I did not document with this phone the stuff that I saw. I realized that the phone stayed in my pocket the whole time. Like the thought never occurred to me to pull my phone out, and so I started feeling bad. Then I checked out one of my subscribers, who the Queen, who took the time to let me know that she sees me, and then I felt bad, um, because I see her, and past lives. That's another video. There was a song that she had in her comment section, and it's a song my aunt played over and over and over and over again when she had this traumatic breakup many, many years ago, Whitney Houston. And I just happened to be visiting her when she was playing that, and I had to listen to that her play that loud the whole. It seemed like the whole day, but it wasn't. But she had it on repeat, and I remember feeling her heart break. As she replayed that song, and Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You." And so in her link, she had a link to Whitney Houston. I pulled up, and it's the same song, and all things stopped, all thoughts stopped, and it took me back to that moment. And to be honest, I really couldn't listen to the whole song. I mean, the thoughts of what it reminded me of, the thoughts of losing Whitney Houston, the thoughts of the world losing her daughter led me to the thoughts of what's happening to children today, led me to the thoughts of my own pain with my daughter. And I mean, she didn't mean to do it. How could she know? But I couldn't get through that song. Um, but I will leave a space in the comment sections for the QoS, and because YouTube tries to keep certain people from connecting, like the internet is necessary to connect with anybody. The fuck are you talking about? We are all connected. You think they got the idea to do cell phones and stuff like that? We've all been communicating with each other the whole time, over lifetimes. That's another video. Get out the house, I guess is the message. Get out the house if you can do it. Go to if you can do it. It'll take time to get into nature if you can do it. If you're moved to do it, you know what I mean. You know, take your cell phones, I guess, if you need GPS or whatever, but don't use them. Just get out and take in, get some enjoyment out of being on this plane of existence. I've been buried into the who's doing what to who too long. And I mean, like what I'm saying is, it's a spiritual battle. So we're gonna grab that sword. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting that fight. But recharge yourself every so often. And this weekend, I guess, was about recharging. And the only regret, if I have one, is not documenting some of the things that I saw, because I think it would have been awesome to see that more than to see or hear me back in this room. Uh, so I'll make up for that. The next time I'll be more aware of that for the next time. Um, Something about pigtails, Queen. Um, Something about that song. I will leave a space, and you know what that's about. Anyway, thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day. I don't know if I'm even gonna post this. Who's listening to these rants? Um, but I hope it serves to I hope it serves to fill your bucket and not take out of your buckets if you take the time to um to hear me. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day. Link in the description. Yeah, I think I'll put a song in the description. Link in the description.